Okay, so here's the thing we're not considering.
Okay.
We're always like, Selena can't be the best assassin. What if all the other assassins legitimately suck?
All right, and we're back for chapter 41. I'll be reading that today. Joy of Joys. Chapter 41, Kaol and Dorian stood on a balcony and watched the carnival be dismantled.
Oh, no, this was your turn anyways, Sarita.
I do the even chapters.
Oh, that's right, my bad.
But it's my turn today. For reasons of tiredness.
For reasons unknown.
Entirely unknown. I couldn't possibly guess. It's a riddle. An insurmountable riddle. I must find someone else.
And I couldn't possibly guess only because I won't. Oh, I need someone else to solve this for me.
I'm pretty sure we read the first line of this chapter, like, way early on. Like, we flipped in because it was like, oh my gosh, the carnival's just barely being taken down. Yeah. Anyways, they're watching the carnival be dismantled bit by bit. It would leave tomorrow morning, and then Kaol could finally have his men back to do useful things.
Like what, Kaol?
More useful than protecting from the
not preventing Grave
thieves?
from getting into the what useful things? Allowing Grave into the building? Mm-hmm.
Like making sure no other assassins got into the castle.
Oh, I don't trust them very much.
Yeah. But Kaol's most pressing problem was Selena. Late last night, after the royal librarian had gone to bed, Kaol had returned to the library and found the genealogical records. Someone had gotten them out of order, so it had taken him a while to locate the right one, but he at last found himself staring at the list of Terrason's noble houses. None of them bore the name of Sardothian, though that was little surprise. Part of him had always known that wasn't Selena's true name. So he'd made a list, a list that now sat in his pocket, burning a hole through it. That's a hot list. Hot potato list.
On fucking fire above.
Of all the noble houses she might have come from, houses with children at the time of Terrason's conquest, there were at least 6 families that had survived. Ellipsis. But what if she hailed from one that had been entirely slaughtered? When he had finished writing down the names...
Wait, why does he suspect she's the... Oh, from the Dodge. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. Also, it's weird for him to think she might not be from one that was entirely slaughtered when we know her parents were both slaughtered. I mean, seems like you should definitely be including the possibility that it's families that weren't all slaughtered and families that were all slaughtered.
Oh, wait. Isn't that what he said?
Well, he said he narrowed it down to 6 families that had survived. Ellipsis. Okay. But what if she hailed from one that had been slaughtered all the way? Meaning, like, his primary thought is the 6 that survived.
Oh.
When he had finished writing down the names, he was no closer to figuring out who she really was than he'd been at the start.
You're gonna hear my spoon mixing my hot chocolate around, and you're simply gonna have to deal with it.
That's right. She's drinking hot chalky instead of reading, and here I am. No hot chalky. So, are you going to ask me whatever it is you dragged me out here to ask, or am I just going to enjoy freezing my ass off for the rest of the night? Dorian said. Kaol raised a brow, and Dorian gave him a slight smile. How is she? Kaol asked. He'd heard that they'd had dinner, and that she hadn't left his room until the middle of the night. Had it been a deliberate move on her part? Something to throw in his face? Make him ache just a bit more? Coping, Dorian said.
Can he maybe consider that she is mad at him because of the omission of important information, and she's not hanging out with another man to make him lust for her sexually? Thinking about what is she doing? What is she doing there, staying there at all hours of the night? Anyway.
Yeah.
Can I also say how lame it is that these boys are supposed to have, like, this incredible, long, strong friendship, and, like, just one woman is able to...
just like
to
that.
snap it. I hate the saying, But whatever happened to bros before hoes, you know?
Literally.
Whatever happened. I hate the saying. But in this one case... Anyway.
The saying stands. Whatever happened...
What happened to brothers in arms before sisters in bed? What happened to brothers before the lady? There we go.
It doesn't sound as good, unfortunately.
The brothers before the lady.
Coping as best she can, and since I know you're too proud to ask it, I'll just tell you that no, she hasn't mentioned you. Nor do I think she will. Kale took a long breath. How could he convince Dorian to stay away from her? Not just because he was jealous. Not just because he was jealous.
So you admit that you're jealous.
But because Selena might be more of a threat than Dorian could ever imagine. Only the truth would work, but... Ellipsis. How could he not tell the truth? Your
Did
father
it say
is
that?
here. No.
How could he? Oh, okay.
No, that's me. Because it said, only the truth would work, but... Ellipsis.
I would love to not tell the truth.
Your father is curious about you, Dorian said. After the council meetings, he always asks me about you. I think he wants you back in Aniele. I know. Are you going to go with him? Do you want me to? It's not for me to decide. Kale clamped his teeth. He certainly wasn't going anywhere, not while Selena was here, and not just because of who she actually was. I have no interest in being the Lord of Aneliel. Men would kill for the kind of power that Aneliel wields. I never wanted it.
I'm not men, am I? I'm man.
Capital M man. Mega man. Dorian braced his hands on the balcony railing. No, you've never wanted anything for yourself, save for the position you have now. And Selena.
Did it say that?
Yeah.
He said that?
Yeah.
Man, they're so bitchy to each other. Anyway, keep going.
Kale opened his mouth, excuses already forming on his tongue. You think I'm blind? Kale asked, his gaze a frozen ice blue. Do you know why I approached her at the Yulmus ball? Not because I wanted to ask her to dance, but because I saw the way you two were looking at each other. Even then, I knew how you felt. You knew, and yet you asked her to dance? His hands clenched into fists. She's capable of making up her own mind, and she did. Dorian gave him a bitter smile. About both of us. Kale took a steadying breath, calming his rising anger.
Let's see what happens. Let's see. Maybe they'll kiss at the end of this.
Ooh! You're right. Maybe they will. That's enough to keep me going. If you feel the way you do, then why let her stay shackled to your father? Why not find a way to get her out of her contract? Or are you just afraid that if you set her free, she'll never come back to you? I'd be careful what you say, Dorian said softly. But it was true. Even though he couldn't imagine a world without Selena, Kale knew he had to get her out of this castle. Yet he couldn't tell if it was for Adarlan's sake or her own. My father is temperamental enough to punish me, M- and her, M-, if I try to broach that subject. I agree with you, I truly do. It's not right to keep her here. But you should still mind what you say. The Crown Prince of Adarlan stared him down. And consider where your true loyalties lie. Once Kale might have argued. Once he might have protested that his loyalty to the crown was his greatest asset. But the blind loyalty and obedience had started to descent.
How is it spelled?
Descent? Descent? No, I think it's just descent.
I think it's descent.
Me.
Yeah, the action of moving down or dropping or falling.
Had started
it's begun
to descent?
They're starting to descent. Like a descent hole?
Oh, that's what you mean, but... okay, the blind loyalty and obedience had started to descent. His loyalty and obedience are descenting. They're saying, yo, man.
He's not, but the loyalty and obedience are.
Yeah. And it had destroyed everything. I don't know, I feel like it'd make more sense to say the blind loyalty and obedience had started this descent, and it was destroying everything.
Not it
had.
Because it's only started. Mm-hmm. It was destroying everything.
And it would destroy everything. You know, it had destroyed everything. It doesn't look like it's destroyed everything, Kayal. You still are working as guard captain, somehow. Selena knew she'd only been out for a few seconds, but it was long enough for Yellowlegs to yank her arms behind her. Only out for a few seconds? My lady, you were slammed in the head by a chain. You don't know you've only been out for a few seconds.
No, but she does.
No, but she does, and she remembers every moment leading up to this chain slamming, too.
She does.
Despite the head trauma.
Trust me, she does. She's built different, remember, Beth? You always must remember, she's built different.
Oh, she built different. Yellowlegs yanked her arms behind her back and get the chain around her wrist. Her head was pounding and blood slid down the side of her neck, trickling into her tunic. Nothing too bad, Imdash. She'd had worse wounds. How do you know? Madam, for all you know, you have a traumatic brain injury, and your brains are spilling out onto the ground, but you don't know because your brain is injured. Her weapons were gone, though, discarded somewhere in the wagon. So you're telling me that it's only been a few seconds, and in that time, Baba Yellowlegs chained you up and also took your weapons and discarded them somewhere in a few seconds?
Yes.
After hitting you?
Yes. Because Selena knows this because she was there. She knows this because she was that way.
She knows this because she made it up.
It came to her in a vision.
It came to her in a vision while she was knocked out. She saw every moment clearly. Even the ones in her hair and clothes and boots. Clever woman. It would take more than a few seconds to do all this. Actually, I'm forgetting Baba Yellowleg. Baba Yellowleg.
She's the runner. She's a
She said, and they were gone.
She said, bippity boppity boo. She's a runner. She's a track star.
Yeah. So she didn't give the witch a chance, not even a heartbeat, to realize she was conscious. With no warning, I don't know, it's definitely been more than a heartbeat since you woke up, Selena. With no warning, she surged her shoulders up, throwing back her head as hard as she could. Bone cracked and Yellowlegs howled. Okay, so is she going to get away immediately?
I think she's gonna be in a pretty good situation. I think there's a little speck of drama, and she's like, "Oh, no, I'm good."
I will hold on my comment. If such a thing were to come to pass, I have a comment.
But I'll keep it in case it does happen.
Yes. But Selena had already twisted, getting her legs beneath her. Again, you don't need to say "but" there. It's bone cracked and Yellowlegs howled. Meaning, Yellowlegs got hit.
But Selena?
So you don't need to say "but" Selena was already twisted and getting her legs beneath her, because we're not, countering something with a "but." The "but" doesn't really make sense. You could say "and." You could do "period" and then say Selena twisted, got her legs beneath her. Yellowlegs scrambled for the other end of the chain, fast as a viper. Selena stomped on the length of chain between them, her other foot lashing out to meet Yellowlegs' face. The woman went flying. Once again, I should have done that presentation on this approximate proportion of Selena's glutes, quads, and other leg muscles, since she can kick people and send them flying.
Lion.
The woman went flying as though she were made of nothing but dust and wind. Okay, you know what? That's fine. You know what? If she's made of dust and wind, you can kick her and send her flying, I guess. But a breeze should too.
How do you kick
the breeze that came out of her wagon when they opened the door should have sent her spiraling away.
Oh.
Nothing but dust and wind tumbling into the shadows between mirrors. Swearing under her breath, Selena's wrists ached against the cold iron, but she'd been taught to free herself from worse. So you gonna free herself from this? Aerobin.
Only I'd be okay if she has to break her hand to get it out of the mallet hole to unlock the other one.
She's not going to.
I know. At least that's one thing Christopher Polini had going for him.
At least that's one thing. Christopher Polini had let me destroy my thumb to get my hand out of the shackles. And then she did it.
Listen.
Right, it was Arya who did that?
I think so.
Okay.
And yeah, you're like, well, they have magic. They, like, we already have healing established. Like, they're just gonna sing, however, magic whole skin back on. But
she still had to do it. She didn't magic the cuffs away. A Robin had bound her up from head to toe and made her learn how to get loose, even if it meant spending 2 days prostrate on the ground in her own filth, or dislocating her shoulder to get out. So, not all that surprisingly, she had the chains off in a matter of seconds.
Elwyn Bondage King?
Please don't tell me he wasn't doing any kinky things with her, okay? I need the relationship to be professional, not even paternal. Professional.
No, it was not paternal. Trust me.
You think?
You know what? I'll keep that to myself.
Gosh darn it. She'll keep the thoughts to herself, but not the cocoa slurping. Period. She was free in a matter of seconds, so we don't even get to know how she did it.
But these are the same kind of seconds that Bobby Yellowlegs took, so it was actually more than seconds. But
her sense of time has been skewed from
because
the traumatic
her
brain injury.
is like at least part of her brain is similar to texture and scent of pate. Color, not so much.
I was expecting pate. No, there's some very pink pate. But I was expecting you to say potato. The entire time I was ready for you to say potato, because you made the p before, and I was like, she's gonna say potato, isn't she? But then you didn't.
Pate, darling. Yeah.
The approximate texture and smell of pate. She yanked a handkerchief from her pocket and used it to snatch a long mirror shard. Angling the glass, Selena peered into the shadows where Yellowlegs had gone flying.
Why can't
Maas,
she...
you don't understand how reflections work, do you?
Why?
Because this is like the exact same thing she did with the blade to, like, angle the light and see things.
And
she's doing it again.
So? Wait, I don't see
Maas,
the issue.
It doesn't work like that.
You can totally see behind you with a mirror.
No, that's not what she's doing.
What is she doing, good?
Angling the glass, Selena peered into the shadows where Yellowlegs had gone. Nothing. Just a smear of dark blood. I think she's using it to reflect light. Because she wouldn't be, like, looking behind her. That would make even less sense.
I mean, you want to get a good...
It's not a well-lit wagon. Which, it's been established. It's not well-lit.
No, but they did say that the mirrors were bouncing the firelight around, making it bright.
I guess. But a mirror shard? A shard of mirror? Anyways.
You have a big-ass shard.
It's just another ridiculous thing. Like, what was it? Chapter 14? Is it Chapter 14 that I hated? Yeah.
Chapter 14 is your enemy. Man.
Chapter 14?
Chapter 14 is
41?
Chapter 14.
Chapter 14? Chapter 41.
It's a chiasma.
It's a chiasma of pain.
Suffering, even.
Even.
Do you know how many young women I've strapped in this wagon in the past 500 years?
Yellowleg's voice was everywhere and nowhere.
How many Croshan witches
What does that mean?
I've
She's
destroyed?
already said everywhere and nowhere recently, so well. Can't... Maybe it's... I don't know. I think it's pretty dumb to say everywhere and nowhere. Because you're saying it's everywhere, but there's no, like, point of discerning where it's coming from. I get it. I think it's lame.
Yeah, especially to use it in 2 chapters right after each other with the same character in the same setting.
Yeah. Couldn't you think of something else to say?
And you already know you can't
Maas?
see her, yeah.
Just say, echoed without a source or something, or echoed around the room.
You could say, Selena turned, but she couldn't find where the voice was coming from. That would be acknowledging she can't do something, though.
They were warriors, too, Dash. Such talented, beautiful warriors. They tasted like summer grass.
God forbid women
and
be ugly
cool water.
and still taste like summer grass and cool water.
Literally. Confirming that Yellowlegs was a blue-blooded iron teeth witch changed nothing. Blue-blooded iron teeth witch?
A blue-blooded, may her blood stop running blue if she can't deliver unto you. resolution of infant delicacy. Because it's you, a witch.
I was objecting to say something was blue-blooded, follow that up with iron. Because iron is red-blooded. They're not the copper teeth witches. That'd be blue-blooded. With their cyanoglobin. Which is what you call red blood cells that use copper instead of iron to transport oxygen, as seen in
Horseshoe crabs?
Horseshoe crabs and some other deep sea creatures.
Okay, pause. I'm reading something. I need to see.
Pause. I'm reading something more important than this book. I believe it. It's not hard. What?
So it says, according to this
Was I wrong?
overview, AI. Oh, wait, hold on.
Hey,
Let me see-
do not
let
read
me
the
see
AI
if the
overview.
non-AI
Yeah,
overview
don't
says the same.
don't even look at the AI one. You're going to become reliant upon it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is from historyextra.com. The concept, this is looking up the origin of blue-blooded.
Oh.
The concept likely originates from medieval Spain as sangre azul, which is attributed to the rich, powerful families of Castile as part of their pure Gothic descent. They would claim never to have intermarried with another race by drawing attention to their pale skin, which made the blueness of their veins visible. So I've always heard blue-blooded to be like you're loyal to your country and stuff. You're like a blue-blooded patriot or whatever. So I was like, did that like come up from America in that? Because that's just how I hear it from. Sounds like it came from.
Was there a time frame given to that? I'm sure it is before the mid 1800s. So it would be a usable phrase.
Oh,
I'm sure, my dear.
I'm sure.
Okay, a blue-blooded, iron-teeth witch changed nothing. Selena told herself nothing, except that she'd have to find a bigger weapon.
It did say,
which is funny.
An English publication of 1811 stated that the nobility of Valencia were divided into 3 classes: blue blood, red blood, and yellow blood.
All right, that sounds distinctly racist.
The first confined to families who had been mare grandes. In the 9th century, Spanish military noblemen reportedly proved their pedigree by displaying their visible veins to distinguish themselves from their darker-skinned Moorish enemy. Anyway, I just saw that it divided them into red-blooded, blue-blooded, red blood, and yellow blood. I was like, then it throughout Europe it became it came to express the difference between the upper and lower classes. Anyway, because of the marble-like skin of the nobility, and the contrast to the tan skin of those toiling in the sun.
Oh yeah.
Look at how sickly I look.
Oh, it's the consumption.
It's the blue blood in me.
Changed nothing. Nothing except that she'd have to find a bigger weapon.
That's for the Iron Tooth Witch. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Selena scanned the wagon M- for the witch, for her lost daggers. They're not big enough, Selena. They're not big enough. Find something bigger. For anything to use against the crone, her gaze lifted to the shelves on the nearby wall. Books, crystal balls, paper, dead things in jars, ellipsis. Selena would have missed it if she'd blinked. It was coated in dirt, but still gleamed faintly in the light of the distant oven.
Damaris.
Mounted on the wall... Damaris? Mounted on the wall above a wood pile was a long, single-bladed axe.
How convenient.
How convenient. Exactly what she
Oh, wait,
needed.
no, it did say by the pile of the wood. So I'm sure it was like a wood chopping axe.
I mean, it was coated in dirt, but it still gleamed faintly, so...
So is it coated or dirt or not?
You can still be coated in dirt and gleam faintly, I guess. It's artistic dirt.
Not if you're an
Skillfully applied. Selena swung the axe... Oh, oops. Missed a paragraph, but it wouldn't matter. She smiled faintly as she yanked it off the wall. All around, Yellowleg's image danced in the mirrors, 1,000 possibilities for where she could be standing, watching, waiting. Selena swung the axe at the nearest one, then the next, and the next. The only way to kill a witch is to cut off her head. A friend had told her that once. Which friend, Selena? I'm starting to think they aren't real.
Selena, you have no friends.
A friend. You don't know them. They don't go here.
Like Mythos from that one fic, you have no friends.
You have no friends.
I'm beginning to think that Mythos had no friends. That's so rude. I agree.
Selena wove between the mirrors, smashing them as she went, the reflection of the crone vanishing until the real witch stood along the narrow pathway between Selena and the hearth, the chain back in her hands. Selena lifted the axe over her head. "One more chance," she breathed. "You agree to never say one word about me and Dorian, and I'll walk out of here." Why are you saying this, Selena? It makes no sense.
I can taste your lies.
Yellowlegs said. Faster than should be possible, she came for Selena, scuttling like a spider, the chain swinging from her fingers. Selena dodged the first whip of the chain. She heard the second before she saw it and thought it missed her. And though it missed her, it struck a mirror and glass exploded everywhere, the one mirror she hadn't hit yet. Selena had no choice but to shield her eyes, to look away for one heartbeat. It was enough. The chain wrapped around her ankle, stinging and bruising, and then yank!
Yoink.
Yoink!
Yaga.
Yaga!
Yaga Yellowlegs?
Yaga Yellowlegs! The world tilted as Yellowlegs pulled her feet out from under her and Selena went crashing to the floor. Yellowlegs rushed for her, but Selena rolled across the charged chain, tangling around her, clinging to the axe with one hand until her face brushed against the coarse fibers of the ancient rug before the oven. There was a firm yank on the chain, and then another whipping sound. Metal slammed into Selena's forearm so hard that she lost her grip on the axe. She flipped onto her back, still tangled in the infernal chain, only to find the iron teeth of Baba Yellowlegs looming above her. In a flash, the witch slammed Selena back down into the carpet. The iron nails...
Baba Yellowlegs really has to just eat things that are the same temperature as her body. Iron teeth, imagine the heat conduction.
Oh,
that's so hot. Ooh.
Oh, that's cold.
It's
She cannot eat ice cream.
It's cooking my gums. That's all I can say. It is cooking my gums. I don't know. Maybe they're like dentures and she can just pop them out.
The iron nails dug into her skin, drawing blood as the winch.
The winch.
As the witch. As the witch pinned her. That's the second time I've said winch, or almost said winch instead of witch. Pinned her by the shoulder.
Hold still, you foolish girl.
Yellowlegs hissed, grabbing for the length of chain laying nearby. The rug scratched against Selena's fingers as she stretched for the fallen axe, just inches out of reach. Her arm throbbed mercilessly, her ankle too. They should be broken. If she could just get the axe, ellipsis. Yellowlegs lunged for Selena's neck, her teeth snapping. Selena threw herself to the side, narrowly dodging those iron teeth, and grabbed the axe at last. She hauled it up so hard that it blunted and slammed into the side of the old woman's face. So hard? I mean, wasn't that the intention? So hard? Yellowlegs was knocked away, collapsing in a heap of billowing brown robes. Selena scrambled back and raised the weapon between them. Pushing to her hands and knees, Yellowlegs spat dark blood. Blue blood.
It did not say blue blood.
It did.
I thought she was
spat
purple.
Dark blood. Blue blood, So she took the blue blood literally. Apparently these witches are blue-blooded.
May her blood stop running blue if she can't deliver one to you.
A delicious souffle
of Solania.
Onto the aged rug, her eyes blazing.
I'm going to make you wish you were never born, both you and your prince.
And then Yellowlegs shot forward so fast.
Yellowlegs, this is no time for quips.
No time for quips, ma'am.
You could have had her if you just kept your mouth shut.
My dear crone, beloved.
Madam Legs.
Madam Legs. And then Yellowlegs shot forward so fast Selena could have sworn she was flying. But she only got as far as Selena's feet. Selena brought the axe down, throwing every bit of strength into her arms. Blue blood sprayed everywhere. There was a smile on Baba Yellowleg's decapitated head.
Do you think cutting her head off is actually enough to kill her? I'm going to say no.
For this chapter, yes.
Well, no, I mean, like, is she gone?
I think so.
Oh, I don't
I think so. I would love if not, but I think so.
I think she's going to come back. I think she's going to pop the head back on her.
Oh.
Twist it around.
Oh.
Projectile vomit. Get back into the fray.
Wow.
God damn it, can't Maas just be so ridiculous to do something campy like that?
It'd be too ridiculous. In fact, that would make me go, all right, I'm done. No, actually, I'd find it funny, probably. Ridiculous. There was a smile on Baba Yellowleg's decapitated head as it thudded to a stop. Quiet fell.
I think she's gonna be fine.
Even the fire, still burning so hot that she was sweating again? You shouldn't have ever stopped, my girl. Seemed to have gone silent. Selena swallowed. Once. Twice. Dorian couldn't know. Girl, shut up. Even though she wanted to scold him to high hell for asking questions that Yellowlegs had deemed valuable enough to sell to others, he couldn't know what happened here. No one could. When she at last found the strength... When she at last found the strength to disentangle herself, her pants and boots were stained blue-black.
Hey, do you want to watch The Sound of Music sometime?
I mean, I guess we could.
Looks
Is
like
that
we'll
literally
go-
what you're thinking of while I'm reading this?
No, I'm looking at a thing on Tumblr, and it's like, I finally watched The Sound of Music, and, like, I get it now. I get it. It's a beautiful 2-hour love story of a strict man finally opening his heart again, and then a 50-minute public service announcement to hate the Nazis. Brilliant. And then it has a gif of that guy and... what's her name? Maria doing a little dance, and the next gif is that guy whipping a Nazi flag in half.
Yeah, we should watch it sometime. You know what would be great? If after Selena is done with hiding the body in the wagon so no one ever sees it again, she realizes the caravan has started off.
Oh.
She is in a moving wagon.
And that's how she's
gone.
That's how she gets out of the castle, baby.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, they'll search the wagon. The wagon's so big on the inside, they just won't find her.
Yeah.
Selena will be like, day 23 in the chamber, bro. They ain't found me yet, but when they do, they're gonna be surprised.
No one could. When she at last found the strength to disentangle herself, her pants and boots were stained blue-black. Another outfit to
God
be burned.
forbid anything's just a color when it's dark. It always has to be black. Blue-black. Why can't it just be dark blue? Why can't it just be black? It's always a combination.
Yeah. Another outfit to be burned. She studied the body and the
Wait, did she make it?
What?
Did you take the clothes off, or was you just
No,
saying,
she just disentangled from the body. And the stained, soaking carpet. It hadn't been quick, but it could still be clean. A missing person was better than a decapitated corpse. Selena raised her eyes to the large oven grate.
Yay!
Yay!
Bone hall.
Everyone's going to notice you
That
burning a
scent.
carpet
That
and a
scent.
body in an oven, my lady. My lady, you have never done this. Now this is, I will admit, something I have never exactly done,
but
I have worked around my fair share of ovens.
It seems like... Is that the end of the chapter?
That's the end of the chapter, too.
Fuck! What a lame-ass chapter.
I was going to say, once again, like chapter 40, I do feel like perhaps there is some evidence that Maas has gotten a little bit better at dealing with not making Selena so badass that she beats everything at once. It took her half of a chapter to come out victorious, but she did in the end. I won't entirely revoke what my comment was going to be earlier was like, I'm revoking what I said about chapter 40. Maas has no improvement. Mm-hmm. But it took the whole chapter, the whole half of the chapter, 2/3 of the chapter, something like that, for her to get away. So you know what? Improvement.
Yeah.
But
And at least it was an actual fight.
Yeah, it was an actual fight. Yeah, so that's my takeaway from this one. We still see a little bit of improvement. Don't like the jealousy. Don't like the hot and cold going on with the apparent love interests. The bait and switch love interests. Yeah, those are my takeaways. What about you?
Whatever happened to bros before hoes?